As Frank L. Baum once said, whenever I feel blue, I start breathing again. Breathing rate is known as external respiration, and it's what you do to get oxygen into your body and carbon dioxide out. In humans, breathing rate helps maintain homeostasis in two main ways: maintaining blood gas levels and maintaining blood pH. First, let's look at how humans breathe. Humans draw air into their lungs by contracting their diaphragm and intercostal muscles. The air enters through the nostrils or mouth. It travels down the trachea, down the bronchi, down the bronchioles, and into the alveoli. The alveoli are the site of gas exchange. Oxygen diffuses into the blood and carbon dioxide diffuses out. The carbon dioxide is then expelled during exhalation. The diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax to push air out through the same passageways it entered through. The rate of breathing can be altered to maintain homeostasis. Humans have receptors in their bodies that maintain homeostasis called chemoreceptors. There are two types. Central chemoreceptors are located in the medulla. They directly monitor pH in the cerebrospinal fluid and indirectly monitor arterial carbon dioxide levels. Peripheral chemoreceptors are divided into two groups: the carotid body, located on the common carotid arteries, and the aortic body, located on the aortic arch. They both monitor arterial oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. Let's look at an example to see how these chemoreceptors maintain blood gas homeostasis. During exercise, the greater ATP demand increases the cell's oxygen demand. This manifests as a decrease in arterial oxygen levels and an increase in carbon dioxide levels. The increase in arterial carbon dioxide levels causes a decrease in the pH of the cerebrospinal fluid. The peripheral chemoreceptors detect the changes in blood gas levels. They signal the respiratory center in the brainstem through the glossopharyngeal nerve and the vagus nerve. Subsequently, the respiratory center signals the body's intercostal muscles and diaphragm to increase the breathing rate via the phrenic nerve. The central chemoreceptors detect the drop in pH within the cerebrospinal fluid. They directly communicate this drop in pH to the respiratory center to help increase breathing rate. Conversely, if there is an accumulation of oxygen in the blood due to hyperventilation, for example, it will cause a decrease in arterial carbon dioxide levels and an increase in oxygen levels. The decrease in arterial carbon dioxide causes an increase in the cerebrospinal fluid. The chemoreceptors detect this change and, using the same process as previously explained, signal the brain's respiratory center to induce a decrease in breathing rate. These same chemoreceptors and the same process also help maintain blood pH levels. A change in pH can be caused by a number of different things. Changes in pH that are unrelated to arterial carbon dioxide levels are detected by the carotid body of the peripheral chemoreceptors. However, we will be focusing on changes in pH that are related to carbon dioxide levels. Blood is slightly basic at a pH of 7.4. A shift in pH can be very damaging and even fatal. Fortunately, the body has a buffer system that can help maintain the pH, called the bicarbonate buffer system. In the blood, carbon dioxide can combine with water and travel as carbonic acid. This can dissociate into a hydrogen ion and bicarbonate. The presence of hydrogen ions lowers the pH of the blood. However, since the reaction is reversible, if the blood becomes too acidic, the reaction will shift to the left to decrease hydrogen ion concentrations and increase pH. If the blood becomes too basic, the reaction shifts to the right to decrease pH. There can be respiratory disturbances to the system brought about by a change in breathing rate. As discussed, if breathing rate increases, arterial carbon dioxide levels will decrease. Since carbon dioxide works as an acid in this case, a decrease in carbon dioxide will result in an increase in blood pH and the pH of the cerebrospinal fluid. This is called respiratory alkalosis. However, if breathing rate decreases, arterial carbon dioxide levels increase. This causes a decrease in blood pH and the pH of the cerebrospinal fluid. This is called respiratory acidosis. These changes in blood pH are indirectly detected by the central and peripheral chemoreceptors. They signal for an increase or decrease in breathing rate to maintain blood pH at 7.4. Arterial carbon dioxide levels can alter pH. High levels decrease pH, whereas low levels increase pH. Since chemoreceptors maintain blood gas homeostasis by the process previously explained, they help maintain arterial carbon dioxide levels, and therefore they help maintain constant blood pH. For example, if high carbon dioxide levels are detected by the chemoreceptors, they signal the respiratory center to induce an increase in breathing. This lowers the carbon dioxide levels and therefore increases the pH of the blood back to normal levels. Breathing helps maintain homeostasis. By altering the rate at which it occurs, it keeps the conditions within the human body constant. This video is by Sara, Hasan, and Sarah Kim. The song is Just Breathe by Pearl Jam. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.